If it's okay, we'll have to do a hard stop at 4 o'clock because as you can see, I'm in office, so I have
Yes,
another call at 4.
that's completely fine. We usually prefer our sessions to be just 1 hour long.
Yeah, so that no one goes to sleep. I can
Exactly.
see 4 students, Aisha, Saqib, Arwa, Mariam. Okay,
Okay, so let's start with a brief introduction. Um, Taimur Abdullah has done his undergrad from LUMS and then his master's from KSBL. And he's currently working as a retail operations manager in HMD Middle East. He has also worked as a trade marketing and modern trade manager in Dabur. And he's also worked as assistant trade marketing manager in Continental Biscuits Limited. Now I'll hand over the mic to Mr. Taimur so he can officially start the session.
okay. Thank you very much, Yusra. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. If not mandatory, but if anyone would be willing to switch on their camera just to make myself, I can see Yusra, but just to make ensure that I am not talking to a black wall. Or so that will be appreciated, and it's always uh, I'm in another country right now, but वैसे भी अब after COVID I think online is something that we have to live with. I can see Aisha, thank you. So okay, um, I'll put up a deck, although we've tried to make it interactive. Just let me share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, you can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So that's me. I can negotiation is just a disclaimer. It is an art. So just like Pablo Picasso apparently becomes very famous, but he won't be able to teach someone the skills. That is why we only have one Pablo Picasso. So again, whatever you take, I have some experience in negotiation, uh, not because I am in all my career I have worked in sales and commercial roles. That is one part of it as well. But I am also a father, a son, a family member. So negotiation is something that is part of our life, and it is an art. So just wanted to throw this out there that if anyone claims to teach you any negotiation skills, so just take it with a pinch of salt. It will come with age, experience, and some of the skills I hope we will be able to cover in this presentation. Okay, so it's very short. Again, uh, it's an online session, but still we've tried to, with Yusra's help, we've tried to make it a little interactive. We will do a first a small activity, and then I'll spend some time briefly speaking about negotiations, and we have 1 hour, so we'll try to spend some time in answering some of the questions that you might have towards the end of the session. So, for example, how do you negotiate salaries? How do you negotiate with your promotion with your current employer, etc. Okay, so Yusra, how are we going to break it into 3 groups? We can, I don't see many people, so we can have 1 or 2 people each in the group, or we can have one person as well. What do you recommend?
Well, yes, we can ask the students if someone wants to volunteer. So basically, the idea was we were supposed to make three groups. But yeah, so we can choose three students. Um,
Okay.
Anybody who's willing to do the activity, they can raise
We
their
yeah,
hands.
let's just have three volunteers, Yusra. So you can, I'll leave this up to you that you can choose three volunteers, and then we can give the volunteers a brief, and the remaining people can just observe.
Okay, so who wants to volunteer for the activity? It's going to be very interesting. Um, I think I think I have to pick. How about Arwa Ali Asghar? I just received your email in the morning. I'm going to choose you as a volunteer for the activity, Arwa. And who else? Guys, this is going to be interesting.
I hope there is no impact of this in their report cards, which is why everyone is hiding behind.
Okay, so Arsalan Tahir,
Okay,
how about
Arwa,
you
Arsalan,
volunteer?
and third, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next is going to be Naveed Hakim.
Okay, great. Arwa, Nadeem, and Arslan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, randomly, Arwa is so Arsalan is team number three. Yusra, if you can just note this down. Arwa is team one, and Nadeem, right?
Yes.
Nadeem is team two. Now we are going to give them some instructions that only they will hear, and the rest, then the three of you will come over here, and just we'll just give you guys 5 minutes to interact in front of us. So Yusra, how are we supposed to give them the instructions?
Oh, so okay, Arwa. Arwa, Nadeem, and
Wait, I can send them a private message.
yes, you
Wait,
can.
just 1 minute.
That's the only option.
Sorry guys, bear with us, please.
There's no Nadeem, so Nadeem left.
Oh, he got scared. I think there really
Oh,
is um negative marking.
it's Naveed. Okay, Naveed.
Okay,
Naveed, are
so
you there? Yes, Naveed is with us. Naveed Hakim, love to
Arwa is
participate,
team
but I
one.
am on my way. Advice team one, Naveed says he's on his way. He would love to participate, but he cannot. So we have to choose another volunteer. How
Okay,
about Gohar Riaz Haider? Isam can
Isam.
do. Isam.
Isam is okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Isam
Okay,
is team
Arwa
two.
is team
Arwa
one.
is. And I'm sorry, who was team three?
Arsalan.
Arslan.
Okay.
Team two. Okay, Arwa, I have sent you the details. Don't tell anyone what you got, but just confirm. Have you received the instructions or the brief? Oh, there is a. Do you guys use Microsoft Teams at LUMS?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
So you should get a message on your Teams individually. Isam and Arwa, I have shared the messages with you. Can you just confirm?
Yeah, I've got your message.
Okay, Arwa, can you confirm?
Arwa, we are waiting for your response. Arwa, is she there? I don't think so. I think she left.
Walaikum Assalam.
यार तेरी गंदी बोतल मैं कैसे लूं? यार तेरे मेरे ना
Okay,
गाने का रेट मांगे थे.
sounds like we have a volunteer, but okay, Arslan, I have sent you the message as well, the brief. Can you confirm if you have received it? Can you, Yusra, can you check with
Acha. Isam got the message. Arslan, can you please confirm? Arslan, you're waiting for your response.
Yes, you are absolutely right. I just got some signal issues here. So sorry.
Okay.
so
Okay.
Arslan has received the message?
No, unfortunately not.
Mhm. Arslan is team 3, is he?
Yes.
Sorry, guys.
Yes, but I have not received. I have not received the text message. That's what's making the trouble here. Sorry.
Yeah, I will email you. Wait, 250101110 @lums.edu.pk.
Yes.
Okay, Arslan team 3, check your email. Now who is left? Asra is, I think we need to find a replacement. She is not
Arwa.
responding. Arwa.
Guys, who's going to volunteer to become the team one? This is going to be a fun activity. Let's just pick. Okay. How about
I can pick Yusra. I don't want you to be the bad cop because we are going to Joseph. Let's hi Joseph. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so you have just been nominated to be a part of our team activity. So, Yusra, which team is he in?
team one?
Team one. Okay. Joseph, I will just send you some details, like a brief. Don't share it with anyone. Just uh, let me know when you have received it.
So I received the instructions and will do as
Okay.
instructed.
Sorry, who is this?
Okay, Arslan. Arslan said he just received the instructions.
Okay.
Thank you, Arslan.
Josefa, are you using Microsoft Teams? No, you are not. Can you give me an email that I can send the instructions to?
Okay.
Can you give me your email?
Joseph is trying to leave the. He just left.
Okay. Guys,
I
in
think
order,
we're scaring them away.
yeah, it's nothing to be scared of, but in the interest of time, let me just, Mariam, if you are okay with this, I will just send you the details of team 2 on your teams. Okay. Mariam, can you please confirm if you
Team
got
two
the
is me, I
message?
think.
Team two is Isam.
Yeah.
You're going to send them the team one
Oh, okay.
document.
Okay. Mariam can ignore the message. We cannot do Mariam now because so we need to choose team 1 now. Muhammad
Um,
Shehzad is not using Teams. Aisha. Okay. Aisha, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I just sent you some details on
Let
your
me see.
teams. Can you please check?
Yep, got them.
Okay, so finally, Aisha is team 1, Arsalan is team 2, and who is team 3?
No, I am team 2, Isam.
Isam is team 2.
Yeah.
Arsalan is 3.
Okay. Okay, guys, you have 5 minutes. For the others, Mariam, just keep yourself mute because I sent you the wrong brief by mistake. So you will be just an observer. So for the others, the we will just give these three wonderful volunteers 5 minutes to negotiate the following. There is one. There are two buyers of an orange. Kinu hota hai, and there is only one seller in the market, and they have some obviously budget constraints, etc., some targets, etc. So now let's say there is a store and the store is selling one orange and there are two buyers. So buyers, over to you. We will try to do this in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So team 1 and 2, Yusra, can you just clarify? Team 1 and 2 are the buyers and team 3, can you just confirm, is the seller? Just say out their names because in all this confusion, I got slightly confused. Who is team 1, 2, and 3?
Okay, so Arsalan is the seller. He has an orange. He's out in the market. He's going to sell the orange. Aisha and Isam are also there in the market. They want to buy the orange. Now let's see who negotiates better. If Arsalan is selling it very pricely, then how is Aisha and Isam going to negotiate and how are they going to buy it like within their budget? This is a fun game, guys.
Over to you guys. You have 5 minutes to sell or buy the orange.
So now we just have to sell, or we just have 5 minutes for preparation?
No, you can do it. The point is not the result. The point is the
Right.
conversations you are going to have.
So I think the buyer would have to start because I already have my oranges displayed here.
We are just observing. Just negotiate with the buyer.
Right. So should I start?
Yeah,
Yes.
actually, I think I'll have to ask. So I
Yeah,
need,
please ask.
so I need an orange. So how are you selling? What are the prices you're quoting?
Hi, Mr. Thank you for
Isam.
visiting the shop. And the oranges that I am selling right now is $7. But you should know that the price of this $7 is just because it's the highest quality orange that you can find in the market right now. And the unique point of this orange is they are freshly picked, and you cannot find in the market today. So the price is $7. So would you consider buying it for $7?
Yeah, actually, but I think I'll
It's
have
a
to.
fantastic deal.
Yeah, I totally agree. But I think I'll have to do a little survey of the market first, maybe. So I'll take a look at other guys who are
Uh,
selling maybe
Well,
more
I would
quality
recommend you
product.
surveying. If you would survey the other part of the market, you might miss these oranges because other party is willing to, buy immediately as you're going to move away from the queue. So, are you willing to buy the highest quality, hand-picked and freshly packed oranges of $7, or would you survey and you'll come back and you'll decide that other oranges are not that good as I'm selling right now? It's just
Actually, I
seven
think,
dollars. It's a great deal. I think you cannot miss the deal
yeah,
today. Already it's a hot weather. Would you like to survey here and there just for, I don't know?
yeah, sure, right.
Think of
But
it,
I'm actually on a
sir.
tight budget right now. So, yeah,
So what's
Where
your
I
is
think
the
budget?
I'll,
other buyer?
There's
So
another buyer.
Arslan, what's so special about your oranges?
Well, they
Why
are of the
seven
highest
when the market
quality.
price is six?
They are of the highest quality. I can bet on that, and they are quality controlled from from multiple sources. And I have ensured that my oranges that are sold in the market are especially have unique taste as compared to other oranges. Because I
Yeah.
have heard, because there is something going in the market that other oranges might be stored for some long in the cold storages, but these are freshly picked. So there is a trade-off. If it's $7, but you're getting the quality and it's freshly picked. just what you like.
How can we assure that they are fresh and not cold storage oranges which have been refurbished?
Absolutely. You can bet on that. And it's a fantastic deal.
But when the market
Uh,
price is, when you are selling more than the market price, why should I buy them? They look the same as the market oranges.
Oh, I understand. Why don't we let's discuss further? I want to make sure you see the value in this orange. It's not just any orange. It's the only one available in the market right now. So this means you have exclusive access to the best quality fruit. What do you say? Isn't it worth paying $7? It's
I think
exclusive.
I think if I have to buy like
I'll
in
buy
bulk,
the whole
maybe
stock
I
if you sell it for 5 right now.
yeah, that's what I'm saying as well.
Oh, I appreciate your perspective, but since you are here and I really value you have come to my shop and I can offer it to you for $6. That's it. Because it
Arslan, you
still
have one
has to
minute.
reflect the
You only
quality. It
have
still
1 minute
has
now.
right. This still reflects the quality and the fact that there are no other sellers around right now of this particular orange. So let's negotiate this at $6. I can give it to you, the pack of fresh oranges and freshly picked, just for you.
But
I
the
think if
max
you
I'm
make it
willing to
like
give
five,
is 5.5 cash.
Um, well, you need to see that if I would be selling at the same price that the other people are doing, so what difference I'm creating here? So the trade-off is the quality and the freshness of this orange. So why
I
not
think you're
just
making
have six
yourself a
dollars?
customer. I
No,
think you're
why not
making
just
yourself
have
30 seconds.
a valued customer, right? So I think I'll buy it 5.5.
5.5 for me? Well, I appreciate your flexibility, but I really thank you for understanding. But sure, it will be satisfied with this orange. In the future, if you need more, I'd be happy to offer you a small discount on bulk purchases as well. So, okay, I'm happy.
Actually, okay,
I
right.
understand
So
need for a fair price. Um, whatever you have said right now, so why not you're choosing for $6 or why you're going for 5.5, if I may know?
so actually I just need the outer part of the orange, right? So if Aisha would just buy the inner part, I can just take the outer part of the orange and then I'll make my thing.
Well, I'm still on $6, sir. If you would allow me, I can
So
give you one
why?
other extra pair of oranges along with that. How about like
Okay.
have an extra
So
bunch of oranges
let
along
me
with this pack?
so
Guys,
let me
last
ask
few
Aisha.
seconds.
Aisha, do you need the whole orange or just some part of it?
I can make way with the pulp, but if he gives it the price
Okay,
I've
I
offered,
right. I think then
Well,
we can just buy one together and then you can use the pulp and I can just use the outer part because I just need the outer part.
that would be great.
Yeah, I think that's big. Yeah, I think so. Like even how about we
But
just buy one orange?
unfortunately, the time is over because the market is
sorry.
now closed. So,
Close.
Arslan, did
Okay.
you sell it or not? I am still confused.
Sir, I
I
have
think we
sold it,
bought
but
it.
I just wanted their
Yeah.
perspective. If I can add a bunch of oranges, extra oranges, I can sell them for $6.
No, but from what I read it, you have not sold it yet. You only had one orange. There is no market of oranges or anything, right? Ar- So, okay.
Yes, sir.
I think it was a wonderful exercise. Thank you so much, Arslan, Isam, and Aisha, and everyone who got in. I think there was some leak of information, or you are very bright young LUMS graduates. But, anyways,
Sir,
can I
actually
open?
tried a lot to sell them at $6, but
Yeah, yeah, yes,
but the market time was so short that I
yes.
wasn't been able to offer them extra oranges as well.
Of course, you had tough buyers. So, before
Tough,
I
very
will,
tough buyers.
anyone wants to comment on like what did you learn about negotiations through this 5 or 6 minutes of conversations between buyers and sellers? Anyone?
I think the one of the part was that the buyers had to collaborate, like how like what part of the orange they need, and then I think they'll make a better deal if they sort of knew what they want.
Okay. Anyone? Anything else? So, Isam, how did you know that there could be a solution where both the buyers could work collectively?
Yeah, because I just want the outer part, right? So I thought there might be someone who just needs the pulp of the orange. Then we could just collaborate and make a better deal out of it.
Excellent. Okay. So if there's no other input, then I'll just briefly go through in the interest of time so that for the others, this is the summary. So basically, Isam only needed the inner side of the orange to make orange juice. Isam, what was the budget that was given to you? Maximum budget?
It was two. So actually, I was team two, so I needed the outer part.
No, no. There was a budget given to you as well.
Yeah, it was $10.
$10. So Arslan, that was the maximum you could have charged, but you started at $7. So this is the reality of negotiation, that you have limited information and limited time as well. The second team, who I think was Mariam, wanted the uh, sorry, Arslan wanted the inner part. Mariam wanted the outer part to use it as a flavoring ingredient. And third was Arslan, who was the owner of the orange. So in reality, ne- either of the team did not know this entire story. So whenever you are going into a negotiation, the basic rule is you never know the full picture, and that is what you're trying to.
Sir, can I add something? Sorry for
Yes.
interrupting.
Hmm.
Sir, because if I would have charged them $10, they would not have stand on my shop as well. There are some buyers in the market, those who have just seen that it's $10, it's not even worth standing there. What's the point of negotiating with them? So they may start even hating my shop as well. So I just needed to have that
Hmm.
price as compared to the competitors that might even give me some contribution margin and can help me develop these customers, my regular customers. So I mean, there are some cases in Pakistan, we know that they are charging 500 and then you end up negotiating with them at 100
Hmm.
rupees. So,
Correct.
you
But
know,
in Arslan, we'll dive deeper into questions later. But in this case study, you were the only seller of the orange. So you were a monopoly. We study monopoly in economics. You were the monopoly,
yes,
right? So you could have started with $100, right? And you had two buyers, and one of them, anyways. So that is the point. Obviously, in each market, when there are a lot of suppliers, then there is a lot of room for negotiation as well. When there is only one seller in a monopoly case, there is lesser room for negotiation. So, anyone has any other point before I move to the next slide? Okay, cool. So let me grab my pointer. What are the key learnings over here? So understand other parties' interests. In this case, other parties, for example, Isam, other parties from Isam's perspective is both the seller and the buyer. So for example, he only needed the pulp of the orange. The first most important thing to get into any negotiation is understand other parties' interest. For example, the seller usually, even in this case, we saw that, and it is very natural. It comes with experience that when you want to sell an orange, for example, you started off with, and by Arsalan, I mean sellers. I'm not pinpointing to anyone because we are all here to learn something out of this session. I learn about negotiations on a daily basis when I interact with customers. So we started off immediately mentioning the benefits of the orange. Oh, that this is outstanding, it's fresh, and so maybe the buyer wanted an old orange to gift it to someone he doesn't like, maybe. He did not even want the entire orange. So this is the crucial part, that you need to understand the other party's interests, sellers and buyers both. Similarly, the second buyer who was only interested in the pulp of in the outer of the orange did not even interact with the first buyer, that okay, why do you need this orange? Second is collaboration over competition. So this is linked to expanding the pie. So for example, negotiations in everyday lives and in commerce, commercials as well, it is like a zero sum game. So let's say there is a pie, it has four slices. If I have to give someone three slices, I only have left one pie for myself. That is just simple maths. It's called a zero sum game and a limited pie model. It's called different ways, but the philosophy is that the pie is limited. But the a good negotiation and a good negotiator and a good businessman chooses collaboration over competition and chooses to expand the pie. Okay, for example, in detergents, Surf Excel and Ariel might keep on fighting against each other, that there are 100 buyers, but both might be better off if they choose to expand the category from 100 buyers to, let's say, they through marketing and through sampling, etc., they take it to 120 buyers. Now we have 20 new buyers in the industry that Surf and Ariel both can share equally, maybe. Mastery in communication. I'll I'll speak about this later in the next slide, but it's all about your emotional quotient, and communication is a major part of the EQ factor. So anyone, and silence is a big part of communication. So by communication, don't assume that it is someone like me who is good who has good vocal skills or who is confident, that I may not necessarily be a master in communication. A master in communication is someone who lets the other party speak in detail, asks intriguing questions, asks double clicking questions, understands the other party's needs and wants. And the last part is disruption. So, for example, you might be hearing this word a lot in the last few years, that we need to disrupt things. So, negotiation is, again, it's also linked to expand the pie. Like, how can you find new ways to expand the pie and to collaborate via disruption? So, for example, the conventional seller in this case would have assumed that he can sell the one solid orange to one buyer only. But in today's world, disruption, you can work on a technology to give the peel of the orange to someone and the pulp of the orange to someone else. We have some time. So any questions or points so far? Okay. So I have put the picture of this book. I don't think you should read it, but it's a very famous book because it's called Never Split the Difference. Now, the reason why I put this book here is that I think this is a 20-year-old book written by a US Marine. If it's the o- it's if you would want to read it, one advantage is that you would get that this book stands for the old orthodox method of negotiation, like the title says, never split the difference, negotiating as if your life depended on it. So this is like a negotiation today, and that's how it has always been. But the conversation is now becoming more about how to expand the pie. And the more, as young students, as young aspirants to start a career, or part of the like, if you want to build your negotiation skills, the point is to move away from the old philosophy, which was the philosophy of the limited pie. But learn more about how you can expand the pie. Okay. So basically, from a philosophical point of view, yeah.
I have a question there. So, so how, like, is it possible always that you try to expand the pie, but it actually does it actually uh, expands, or are there any limitations, right? So, for example, if there are 100 buyers of a product, then there might not be like 120 buyers of that product. So, how is this a viable uh, approach? Like, how can we expand the pie in every case?
Yeah, we cannot expand the pie in every case. Sometimes it's limited. You have 100 mobile phones to sell and you have 150 buyers. So you have to choose on how to go about it. So this is not a one size fits all, but maybe so what the framework that I'm trying to not me, it's the framework is of course there. I'm just putting across the message that maybe you can think along the lines that okay, 150 demand versus 100 supply. How do we um, rationalize this? Do we increase the price? Do we sell it at the same price? Do we commit to the remaining 50 people that we are not able to give you this model, but instead we can do this for you at a better price? Or maybe if you wait some time, maybe when the next shipment comes, you will be the first we will accommodate. So these are the kind of questions you need to this is the kind of conversation you need to have with the other party. But to answer your question, it is tough. That is why negotiation is an art. So there is never a simple answer to anything.
Right.
Okay, let
Thank you.
me, I just need to connect my charger. 1 minute. Okay, so from a philosophical point of view, three schools of negotiation. The first is the poker or the realist school. This poker and realist school is the orthodox model. The book that we also saw, it says that you need to take care of your own interest no matter what. So you can lie, deceit, cheat, anything that you do because the market is like that. ऐसा तो सब करते हैं. इसके ये नहीं करेंगे तो कुछ भी नहीं होगा. So that is one philosophy on how to negotiate. The second is the idealist school. Now, this is the exact opposite. It says that whatever happens, we will not lose our values. So we will not lie, cheat, deceit. Even if we lose a negotiation, we will not compromise on our values. So these are two extreme ends. The realist school, which says that whatever happens, ऐसा तो सब करते हैं, हम सब कुछ कर देंगे, and the idealist school that stays true to its values, that whatever happens, these are the three, four values, whatever they may be, religious, ideological, anything, never cheat, never lie, etc. So this is the value-based school. The third is the pragmatic school. It is similar to the realist school, but pragmatic school is, I would say, a sugar-coated version of the realist school. So pragmatic school will say that it is we should not lie, not because we are Muslims or we should not lie at all, but because that if we lie in the long run, our secrets or our negotiation techniques might hurt our suppliers or buyers in the long run. So they are like a sugar-coated version of the realist school. Does that make sense?
So can you repeat the idealist school with an example if possible?
So idealist school, for example, any Sharia-driven, Sharia-compliant company, for example, any company that says that we will follow Sharia principles. in spirit, that is not on in the constitution, but let's say, and Sharia says that you cannot lie. So for example, you need to buy your company, you work in a company, you need to buy a car, or you need to sell a car, and that car let's say that car has um it used to have a malfunctioning tire and you had to replace that tire, for example. And when a buyer comes and he says that why are the tires new, or was there an issue with the old tires? So in the idealist school, you will say that yes, the old tire was damaged or punctured, etc., and we replaced it with a new tire so that you don't face any issue in driving, etc. So that is the idealist school. Doesn't have to be Muslim per se. So for example, it could be any let's say a children's daycare facility in the United States of America, run by, let's say, a French organization. But that French organization believes that children are the next um, asset of any economy. So we should not, in that daycare facility, lying should not be acceptable at all. And then a parent comes in and they ask, okay, how much screen time do you give to your 4-year-old students? And they say, and in actually they give like, let's say, 4 hours of screen time. So even that idea, because assuming that they would be in an idealist school, so they will not say that we do it 2 hours or less than 2 hours when it's actually 4 hours. Does that make sense?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. And pragmatic school is the sugar-coated version of realist school. They say that we should not lie or we should not deceit, not because there is some ideology, but because they want to keep their own interests aligned, and they believe that in the long run, lying or cheating or deceiving will have a negative impact on their business. Okay. So some negotiation techniques, I'll just very quickly, I'll do this in 5 minutes, and maybe in the last 10 minutes we can keep some questions which you guys might have. Some mainstream, I can send this to Yusra, she can share it with you. You can read it online as well. So these are just some tips. Um, some of them are orthodox, some of them are new, but most of them are orthodox. I just wanted to point these out, that not because y- these are useful in in any type of negotiations, but for me personally, they are more useful when you know that someone else is applying this to you. So this, I think, it's up to you. You can read more on these on your own, or you can use them as well, or you can just try to next time when you are in a negotiation, whether with the Yusra or a LUMS alumni office or with teachers, etc., just try to guess if the other party is using any of these techniques. Anchoring. So for example, in the anchoring is when you, at the start of a conversation, you make a reference point where you throw a bait to the party and you make that as a reference point. For example, in this orange case, Arsalan started that the price of this orange is $7. So $7 became the anchor. So immediately the discussion started $6 or $5. If Arsalan had started at $50, that $50 would have been the anchor. So this is anchoring. You try to throw a big number to negotiate things that way. Framing is basically when you hide some part of the information and you show only a limited information to the other party so that you get their interest. So for example, I have a sports car that I want to sell, but I know, and it's a manual car, and I know that the buyer is not really interested into sports. So I will frame that, okay, I will start that this car that I am selling, even though it's a Ferrari, for example, but it has a manual gear. So I will focus more on its manual features and the seating capacity, etc. So I am framing a sports car in a particular way. Mirroring. Mirroring is this is a not related to negotiation, but a psychological concept that when someone behaves like you or speaks like you, or you speak like them or behave like them, there is like a connection, and you can read more about it, that you feel that there is a threat and uh, flight, fight or flight response is lowered, that okay, the party in front of me ये बिल्कुल मेरे जैसा ही है. The flinch is another I think move where you throw something to scare the other party at the start. So for example, um, and it's related to good cop, bad cop as well. We'll come to that. But the flinch is when you say someone that, let's say in the orange case study, if I was the buyer, I started off by saying, Arsalan, you won't be able to afford this orange at all. So, Isam, you won't be able to afford this orange at all. So whether this is right or wrong, it's I'll leave you guys to decide. Yeah, but these are all the techniques. So flinch, Isam would have been that okay, he would have been immediately on the back foot. Good cop, bad cop. When we have two negotiators or we have multiple parties involved, so एक party जो है वो थोड़ा बदतमीजी से या थोड़ा tough बात करेगी, and then the other party comes in and cools the situation down. So this is a good cop, bad cop. It's very famous. You might have heard of it. Silence, my favorite and most powerful, and the most difficult to do is you say nothing and just let the other party reveal everything so you get more information. So, because in any part of negotiation, information is the biggest asset. Nibbling is basically something like getting something extra out of any negotiation. So पंजाब में जैसे खाने पे चूंगा कहते थे. Anyone understands if what chunga is? Chunga is basically when you I'm not Punjabi, so if any Punjabi can confirm if I'm using the right word, जब आपको कुछ extra थोड़ा सा खाना ला देता है वो निहारी वाला, so that is chunga. Is that right?
मेरे ख्याल में आप सर कह रहे हैं वो जो एक सप्ली होती है जो खाने के बाद थोड़ा सा रोटी बच
ठीक है,
जाती है वो खत्म करनी होती है
सही है,
उसको आप चूंगा
सही है,
कहते हैं शायद
सपली. हाँ, नहीं, सो कराची में इसको कहते थे ग्रेवी, बट सपली, सपली चूंगा.
हाँ सर
सो
वो
दे
रोटी
आर.
खत्म करनी होती है ना वो कहते हैं
हाँ,
सप्ली तो ले आओ
बिल्कुल. सो सप्ली आपको फ्री मिलती है. आपका बिल 500 रुपए का मिला होगा, तो सप्ली आप जितनी खाते रहें वो 500 का ही बिल आपको चार्ज करेगा. सो दिस इज निबलिंग. निबलिंग इज, लेट्स से यू बाय अ लैपटॉप, और बड़ा महंगा आपने लैपटॉप खरीदा बहुत दिनों बाद, बड़ी नेगोशिएशन के बाद. उसके बाद आपने कहा कि यार मुझे इसका लैपटॉप बैग तो दे दें आप ज़रा फ्री. So this, you just try to get something additional from what you already have received. With that, this is it from my side. We have 10 minutes. So I leave the floor open for questions. आप लोगों के कौन से सवाल हैं? आप लोग अभी किस स्टेज में हैं लाइफ के? You can reach out to me later as well, but I hope you learned something good out of this session.
सर मैं
हाँ,
वैसे
it's a
लाइफ
little
के
bit.
अभी एमबीए के स्टेज पे ही हूँ मैं अभी एमबीए कर रहा हूँ तो आई वाज लाइक वांटेड टू अटेंड दिस सेशन और मैं ये चाहता था कि इस देख लूं कि नेगोशिएशंस के और भी कौन से टाइप्स ऑफ स्किल्स हैं जो बंदा सीख सकता है इस टाइम में सो इट वाज रियली गुड टू नो कि इतने सारे आर्ट ऑफ देयर आर वेज दैट वी कैन मैनिपुलेट द कस्टमर्स एंड how we can just make the sale happen actually.
Okay, thank you. Isam
Yes,
had
anyone?
some.
Yeah. So I had a question. So I'm in a stage of life where now typically I do silly negotiations, right? So the thing you said about anchoring, right? So it really like uh, it really does a lot of impact on the overall salary if you like anchor it right way. So my question was like, what is so how should we start the buyer start anchoring or the we should let the other party anchor first? Like which situation would be better for me, for example, if I'm negotiating my salary, for example.
Hmm. Right. Very good question and very important, I think. And it's a tough, to be honest, it's a tough question, but some tips and tricks. आप इसमें जितनी रिसर्च करेंगे अपनी कंपनी के बारे में, जिस पोजीशन के लिए आप अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, जो रोल है उसमें, दैट इंफॉर्मेशन विल हेल्प यू अ लॉट. सो फॉर एग्जांपल आप कंपनीज देख लें, एवरेज क्या पे चल रही है उसमें, उस कंपनी में और लोग जो काम कर रहे हैं वो कितना कमा रहे हैं. और जो लेट्स से जो रिक्रूटर, अगर आप जिससे जो पर्सनली अगर उसको आप जानते हैं, पर्सनली से मुराद ये कि इफ़ यू कैन just do some research on what type of person they are. HR पाकिस्तान में अनफॉर्चुनेटली मेरा ऑनेस्ट व्यू है, इट्स काफ़ी पीछे है. दे सो दे आर अ टफ कस्टमर टू नेगोशिएट विद, लेट्स पुट इट दैट वे. सो आपके पास जितनी इन्फॉर्मेशन होगी कि इंडस्ट्री में एवरेज क्या चल रहा है, उस कंपनी में एवरेज क्या चल रहा है, सो यू इन योर ओन माइंड यू शुड हैव अ नंबर वेरी क्लियर, रिगार्डलेस के सामने वाला आपसे क्या पूछेगा. ओके. सो यू शुड हैव, आइडियली यू शुड हैव 3 numbers, बेस्ट केस जिसमें अगर आपका छक्का लग गया, लग जाता है तो वो हो. देन यू शुड हैव अ रियलिस्टिक नंबर एंड देन यू शुड हैव अ वॉक अवे नंबर विच शुड नॉट बी, मे नॉट बी आइडियल, बट डिपेंड करता है कि आपके अपनी प्रायोरिटीज़ क्या हैं, कि भाई इससे नीचे तो मैं बात करने का फ़ायदा नहीं है. सो वंस यू हैव डूइंग दिस रिसर्च एंड यू हैव दीज 3 numbers, could be 2 numbers, could be 1 number, it's up to you, then you are in a better, more confident position to negotiate with the recruiter. Point number 2, to answer the question directly, it depends on which stage of the negotiation you are. तो शुरू में HR भी सिर्फ, आई थिंक मेरे व्यू में तो टाइम ज़ाया कर रहा होता है अपना भी और उनका भी, कि सैलरी अपने ब्रैकेट्स बता रहे हैं या नहीं बता रहे हैं, आपकी अपने बता रहे हैं या नहीं बता रहे हैं, एंड यू आर नॉट entitled to share that number at the initial part of any progress. तो शुरू में आपसे कोई पूछे आप क्या कमा रहे हैं, तो आप उनसे बोल दें कि why is it necessary, I mean we can discuss it later. बहुत ज़्यादा प्रेशर करें तो you can give them a range, कि मैं इस रेंज में हूँ. So there are a couple of ways to go about it and it comes with experience, don't worry.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions before we end this session? I think we have pretty much cleared everything. Taimur, we would like
Okay.
to thank you for being part of this session, and everybody else, thank you for your presence. Stay tuned for the upcoming sessions. Have a good day.
Thank you everyone.
Allah
You
Thank
can
you.
Hafiz.
If you could just drop the email, yeah, if I like
I'll
we
drop
want
my
to contact.
LinkedIn. I'll drop my
Okay.
LinkedIn profile. So I think that is the best way to get in touch
Sure.
with me over there. Okay. Thank
Sure.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Allah
Okay.
Hafiz.
Thank you.
Bye. Allah Hafiz.
Hafiz.
Hello.